Welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. Welcome to episode 15 of Quick Take.
All right, guys. So the third game of the Eastern Conference Finals just wrapped up between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, and was it a great game? The Boston Celtics did edge out in the game, winning 117 to 106. However, that fourth quarter, it looked like anything could go down. We saw some exceptional performances from the top three core of the Celtics, coming from great performances from Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kemba Walker, with the Heat defensively also putting up a fight. Now, guys, let's talk about our general thoughts and key takeaways from this game.
I just think that the Heat just got straight up outplayed. As you said, Rayon, the Celtics had four of their starters who had 20-plus points with Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. And I think that those four players are sold up tonight. Yeah, I'm not saying the Heat had a bad performance. They also had people who showed up, obviously, every day, like Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. But I also thought that Goran Dragic could have put up more points because he usually puts up at least 20 points. So if there's one thing they could improve on, it would be in terms of Goran Dragic's performance. But other than that, it was a great game. Celtics just outplayed the Heat, in my opinion.
Yeah, what do we tout the Heat for? Their defense, right? We talk about how great their defense is, and today their defense was kind of nowhere to be found. Jason Tatum was shooting lights out. Same with Jaylen Brown, and so the next game, all the Heat got to do is play better defense. They were pretty decent on the offensive end in the second half, but in the first half, they were kind of slow to start the game. And so I think those are the keys for next game if they would need a win.
I really want to look at how Jimmy Butler and Andre Iguodala weren't playing at the end of the game. I know it was a coach's decision of sorts, maybe some sort of injury. We know it wasn't foul trouble, but I'm interested to see what Coach Spoelstra has to say about why they weren't in the game at the end of the game. Because you want Iggy's deep playoff experience at the end of the game. Obviously, you need Jimmy Butler on the floor. I'm very curious to see why they weren't playing when they especially needed them late in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. That's the key point I was going to talk about as well. Mike Van Gundy was talking about this during the game as a commentator that, hey, why isn't Iggy a great defender and Jimmy Butler, one of the main superstars of the team, why isn't he on the floor? Now, he did bring up the point that is it somewhat injury related, which hopefully it's not, which brings the question, why weren't these two stars in the game when it really mattered? The Heat got the margin of the lead down to 7 in that final minute with some great plays from Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero throughout the night, hitting some great threes, but obviously not enough. And something I want to go back to is that these Celtics have shown that they are an all-around team. That's proving that once again. With three stars, their top three, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum coming out every night, as we know, but also we got to see Kemba Walker sort of develop that rhythm, which was sort of lacking in the first couple of rounds. So if the Celtics can continue this, we could see this become an even more extended series. And something interesting which I want to share is that the Heat, fun fact, are 16-0 when they initially hold a 2-zip lead against any team. Now, guys, are we expecting the same to go down here? So I'm going to get started by asking you guys, what are our series predictions for the series?
Well, I'm going to say mine really quick. I just think Heat are better. They have more talent on their team. They play better defense. And, I think what the Celtics are missing is like a deep veteran presence, right? Kemba's never made it this far. Jason Tatum, he's played in the Eastern Conference Finals as a rookie. So, those don't really count. But with Jimmy Butler, he's got playoff experience. I think the Heat win in 7.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Arian, but I think that it's going to come down to less games. I got the Heat winning in 6 because, I don't know, Celtics, they're a great team, obviously. Both teams are great. As Arian said, the Celtics lack experience in the playoffs, and Jimmy Butler's an all-around veteran, and I think he's like the key player on that team, and he's going to lead the Heat to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my original prediction, too. I'm going to say the Miami Heat in 5. We really don't know what Coach Spoelstra's decision was by keeping them out at the end of the game. What I'm starting to think is they don't play until Wednesday. It was sort of a load management thing. They play deep into every game. They had an OT game for the first game of the series. They're always on the court grinding. Maybe they didn't want to risk some sort of injury. But that also makes the game 4 on Wednesday a must-win. If you're taking the risk by taking them out of the game late, You have to have some sort of solid game plan after 4 days of development to come back and strike early and strike often on Wednesday.
I'm going to stick with my original pick as well. So obviously the Miami Heat have proven a lot of people wrong by showing that, hey, they were counted out and they're making a name for themselves with these playoffs. But I'm still going to go with the Boston Celtics. I still envision that Celtics and Lakers finals happening after 10 years. And I got the Celtics winning in 7, coming back down 2-0 and being the first team to win against the Heat despite the Heat being up 2-0. And mainly it's because of the fact that the Celtics have these players who can turn on every night. Tonight showed us a glimpse of that. I feel like the first 2 games were just a slump for the Celtics, which happens with every team. And Abi, to your point about experience, I feel like the Celtics got enough experience, man. Sure, they're a very young squad, but in those youth years, they've accumulated so much deep playoff runs. They've played against the LeBron-led Cavs. That Game 7 we talked about in the show previously, that they were one Game 7 in an amazing performance from LeBron James away from making the NBA Finals and playing the Golden State Warriors. And they made the Eastern Conference Finals before that as well with Isaiah Thomas when he used to be on the team. So I feel like especially Jason Tatum and that young core, along with Jaylen Brown, they know what it takes to advance. So I feel like that they're going to have the momentum and come back to win the series.
I want to add one final thing about how we haven't given any credit to Bam Adebayo. I mean, he dropped 27 points with 17 rebounds this series. The Celtics have no answer for him on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he is the big man of that series. The Celtics have no answer for them, and they need to step it up at that point, at that position, in order to have a greater chance.
Yeah, also, in addition to what Harsh said, it definitely, the series it can go either way. But I will say that, and I've been saying this the entire series, if Kemba Walker keeps up with this rhythm that he had in Game 3 and plays like he did this game, I think it's going to be a tough battle for the Heat. But because Kemba Walker, he didn't perform bad the first 2 games, but not as good as this game, obviously. So, I think Kemba Walker is a key piece of the Celtics offense, and they need him to perform every single game. And that's how they have a chance at winning.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting. The one thing which the Celtics have not been able to respond to is Bam Adebayo. They were able to contain Jimmy Butler to some extent today, along with somewhat holding off that perimeter shooting. But Bam Adebayo getting it done on the defense and on the offense tonight as well. All right, guys. For sure, tonight's game showed that this could be an even longer and greater series than we envisioned, with it potentially even going to a Game 7 between these great teams. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below your takeaways and general thoughts from this game. Has the series shifted in the Celtics' favor, or is it too early to call? As always, guys, take care, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.